in this country, it's English. And we should have long ago established English as the official state language. Plain and simple. There's nothing unconstitutional about doing that, by the way. It's unconstitutional. No, it's not. It's called assimilation. Look, you don't get to go. No other country does what we do as far as anti-assimilation and allowing people just to demand that that the government of that country speak 300 different languages. I mean, you want to talk about discriminatory? You have all these government documents in certain languages, but not in others. People have a right to say, well, that's discriminatory. Well, in a way it is. What it actually should be is just English only. Learn to speak English. Learn to read it. You're going to live here, English is it. I mean, if I'm going to move to France, I'm fully expected, I would expect myself to learn French. If I'm moving to Greece, I would expect for me to learn Greek. Or anywhere else I go. If I move to Hunan province, I would expect that I should have to learn is it Mandarin in Hunan province? I think it's Mandarin. Chinese. I don't understand what. Are we going to make this? This is from the Washington Times, by the way. I mean, it's not a big deal that all these languages are spoken here in this country because, after all, the United States is the melting pot. Everybody around the world comes here. And it's kind of cool and neat to hear various types of languages that you never otherwise would hear because you would never go to many of these home countries where the languages are spoken. And indeed, probably most of them you wouldn't want to go anyway, but that's beside the point. But when it comes down to brass tacks and you need to communicate and everything is done in English, that needs to be our official language. Plain and simple. Are any of the presidential candidates, I know the left isn't, but any of the Republican candidates saying that English needs to be the official language? I know Rubio's has been getting pounded lately for his stance on illegal immigration. And rightfully so. I'm sorry. He thinks if he thinks at all that there should be anything called amnesty for the 11 million, 20 million, 30 million, how many of them there are here. If he thinks that there should be a pathway to legalize citizenship, he's dead wrong. And he needs to be taken to task on it. Plain and simple. And we need to have candidates that say, hey, English is going to be our official language if I'm president. I want to hear that. And a lot of Americans want to hear that. A lot of legal immigrants who've become citizens want to hear that. This is America, after all. This isn't, little Taiwan or little Japan or little Hong Kong or little Tokyo or little Berlin or little Paris or little Madrid or little Athens. No, it's big America. And English is spoken here. If I go to Africa and I'm in a country that speaks Swahili, I should be expected to speak Swahili. Plain and simple. I mean, if you're just visiting, that's one thing, but it amazes me that we have the left who is so frightened of wanting to demand that people learn English when the reality is that English is the international language of business. If you're doing international business, almost everybody doing international business speaks English. And look, it's not just because of America. I mean, hell, the part of the reason is because of Great Britain, frankly. I know everybody wants to, on the left, he wants to take the U.S. down a notch. Well, it's not just the United States, it's England. Well, Great Britain. Look, in Great Britain, they have places that speak more than just English. They speak Gaelic and in other, like down in the Aucklands, they Portuguese. But the official language of the state of Great Britain is English. Not such a far stretch for us to demand the same consideration. CNS News is reporting that the feds have relocated to all 50 states and D.C. over 81,000 unaccompanied illegal alien children. I told you when they first started coming here, that's exactly what those of us on the right told you was going to happen. They were going to start shipping these children all over the place. Now, once these children have been placed where they're being placed, what happens next? Oh, we can't keep these children separated from their parents and their families. And now we're starting to see their parents show up. And they're placed all over the country. Literally. All 50 states. And D.C. 81,000 of them. The Federal Office of Refugee Resettlement has released data updated as of November 2nd that shows in the last 2 years, some people might think that I'm being a broken record. No, I'm making a point. 81,038 illegal alien minors who entered the U.S. without a parent or guardian were subsequently placed with adult sponsors in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. In the last 2 years, read that as 24 months. Over 81,000 illegal alien children who were shipped to the United States by their parents. Now, according to the unoccupied children released to sponsors by state, statistics confirmed by a spokesman for the Administration for Children and Families, which operates ORR, which is the Office of Refugee Resettlement. 27,520 unaccompanied illegal alien minors have been released to sponsors around the United States in fiscal year 2015, October 14th to 2014 to September 2015. This is in addition to the 53,518 children released into the United States in fiscal year 2014. Now, those statistics bring the total of illegal alien children who were apprehended, placed with ORR, and then released to sponsors over that time period to a whopping 81,038 kids. Want to know if your state is among the top 10 in receiving the most illegal alien children? Well, they are, as expected, Texas, California, New York, Florida, Maryland, Virginia, New Jersey, Georgia, North Carolina, and even one of the poorest states in the Union, Louisiana, took in over 2,200 of them. Look, we are destroying our nation from within. I know some people are probably saying, well, you're just so cruel-hearted, Rod. How could you possibly do that to kids? Look, those kids have a very long rope attached to them. That rope is tied to their families back from whence they came. That rope is now being tugged, and those families are starting to appear. You're erasing our borders and bringing in all of these illegals who have nothing real to contribute to our society, but will be a drain. Just think about it. That's an additional 81,000 kids that now have to be educated, going to public schools, being supported by who? American taxpayers. I'm not trying to be cruel or cold-hearted, but I am trying to be a realist here. Look, there, you got people around the world who understand the dangers of doing this kind of thing without assimilating people into their own culture, into your own culture. I mean, you got people that are marching and protesting by the thousands in Germany against the seemingly unlimited flood of so-called refugees going into. I mean, you got Eastern European countries like Hungary and places like that who are trying to hold them at bay. I mean, hell, you got the chancellor, president, or whatever of Bavaria saying, you know what, Bavaria is going to take 1,800 refugees. We're going to ship the rest of them by bus to Angela Merkel's office and let her deal with them. And you got one town that's willing to take. Well, I don't know if they're willing to, but they're preparing for the increased violence and crime because it's a town of 102 people, residents, and they're going to bring in over 700 refugees. Think about this: you have 100 natives there versus 700 non-natives. Who do you think is going to win that battle? Is this what we're trying to do in this country? We're trying to overwhelm the people, the citizens of this country with illegals and other immigrants who have not, because all those 700 people have nothing to, they're not bringing anything to improve the lives of the 100 people that are already there. So we're going to bring in millions of these people, allow millions of them to stay, who are not contributing very much of anything at all to our society in general, but are becoming a tremendous drain on our society. That's not how you advance a nation. That's how you destroy a nation. That's how you tear it down. That's how you make it unacceptable for those who are already there. Saying, hey, by the way, finally tonight, we're an overly prescribed, overly drugged nation, as you already know. But I didn't know the numbers are this high. Nearly 60% of all Americans are taking legal prescription drugs. Most of them are psycho types of drugs, for mental disorders and what have you. Oh, yeah. No wonder nobody knows what's going on. That's the end for tonight. See you tomorrow. I'm Rod Eccles. From the Rod Eccles Show. Have a good one. I'm out.